justifying shitty behavior and doing things like that, right? So I've been avoiding that. Uh, I've tried. I don't know. It's just been weird. I've thought about relationships a lot. I've thought about my ex. Um, like not this past weekend, but the weekend before. I just I was like just mad depressed. I don't know what it was. I left my house, went and got some coffee, hit up my my sister's ex-husband, who she was married to before she passed away. And I hadn't seen him in like a couple years, so I went over there and I saw him, and it went well, and we talked and caught up, and you know, it was good. And then I left there, and I don't know what it was. I wasn't playing the victim. I wasn't doing. I wasn't like it wasn't my thinking that got me in trouble. You know, I just felt down. I'm not sure why, and I fucking got home. Didn't want to get up. You know, I was in a bad mood. I'm like, shit. I should do something. I should call somebody. I should get out of the house. And so I did that, and then I call my buddy that I was in sober living with, and hit him up, and he's busy. He can't hang out. But then he starts talking to me about my ex, my baby mama, who I got out of a relationship earlier this year with, and he starts saying, "Dude, you need to get back with her, and you know you're gonna regret it if you don't." And he starts planting these seeds of doubt that I'm making the wrong decision or I'm doing the wrong thing, uh, which are really easy to cultivate because it's not like I don't tell myself that, right? She's my kid's mom, and there's tons of reasons. You know, she's a good woman. There's tons of reasons to be with her, and I just know it never worked and it didn't work, and I knew that I would never get healthier. I knew that I would never grow. I wouldn't be able to grow if I stayed in the relationship. I just knew that it was always a constant growth and then a boom, go back down, growth and then go back down. And I mean, there's multiple reasons for that, I think, but it doesn't matter the details. That's just the facts of the way it was, and maybe it would have changed in the future, maybe it wouldn't. I just knew that I didn't want to go on another day being fucking miserable, right? Because I spent a lot of time like that. So I'm not gonna cultivate those seeds that my buddy Ben was telling me about. I'm gonna regret it and all this other shit. And then he starts. So she went to work at the rehab I went to that I was planning on going back to work at for part-time work or whatever because I had relationships with all the people there. There were people like Ben who worked there now that I was in rehab with and in sober living with. But yeah, she went back and worked there. So that's just not a possibility for me to go and work there now. Just uh, too much possibility for conflict there with her working there if I went to work there. Um, and so he starts talking to me about, you know, I don't want that to interfere with his and I relationship, and he doesn't want there to be any weirdness, and he wanted me to know that he would never do anything and just shit like that. And I don't know, man. I mean, it just made me realize, like, okay, like, my bridge to that rehab and the people there and stuff like that is pretty much burned. I've got to find a new. I think it's like I just crave connection, dude. Because I don't have much of that. I mean, I have people I work with. I don't have close family in Utah. The only person I have in Utah now is my mom, but I haven't talked to her in almost a year in November. Um, there's good reason for that. I walked in on a suicide attempt and she was drunk and or not even a suicide attempt. Like it was I don't even know what the fuck it was, but I don't know, just too unhealthy and just too much, you know. It doesn't matter if someone's family or not. You got to know when to step away and know when the best thing for you to do is to step away, especially when it's family because if it were a stranger that I walked in and saw like that, it wouldn't have fucking mattered, right? I mean, it would have sucked, but it's a lot different when it's your mom. Uh, so you got to know when you can maintain a relationship and when you can't. And so I haven't talked to her in almost a year. Um, yeah, I mean, so I just I think it's just connection, dude. And then went saw my therapist last week, and we did this EMDR, and EMDR is it's a rapid eye movement therapy where you kind of sit there and you sit there and you have these, usually you'll have lights or something, or he'll move his fingers like this, and you follow his fingers, so you're moving your eyes back and forth, right? And then what that does is it's supposed to engage both sides of your brain, and then connect your emotional, where you would carry like childhood traumas and things like that, and connect it to your frontal cortex, the reasoning and thinking part of your brain. And so I did that, and I cried, and it was good. And I don't cry a lot, and I don't connect to my past a lot. Not out of I'm willing to. It's just the inability to do so. And yeah, so that was good. And I've kind of been in a weird mood since. I went straight from that to I went camping in Idaho, and that was really pretty. And it was like the first day up there, like I just felt really good, like being connected to nature, and that's always been really centering and just reminded me who I am. And you know, there's nothing, especially in the fall time for me. I mean, nothing beats that. Nothing beats that. It's so grounding and so centering and just so humbling. Really, is what it is. But I mean, it was a pretty good weekend, and now I'm back in the rut of things, back in the 9 to 5 daily grind, doing that shit. But yeah, but still trying to figure out, you know, what did that EMDR thing do for me? I think I've stopped overthinking and overanalyzing as much as I was, which is good, because I was constantly in my head. And if you're constantly in your head, that's just delusional, because if you're thinking all the time and you're not experiencing, and you're just thinking and you're thinking about everything and not feeling it, then that leads to delusion, I believe, right? That leads to a disconnect from reality. So I think it's helped with that. I mean, I'm pretty sure it has. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know for sure, but I think it definitely has. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, but I wanted to focus on thinking errors. And a couple big ones are being a victim, not taking accountability and responsibility for your own life and your own decisions, right? Like if I were to sit here, I'm 24, and I were to tell you, like, this is bullshit, all this shit happened in my past, my parents were like this, and my sister died, and all these reasons, and that's why I was fucking addicted to drugs, and that's why I'm not further in life, that's why I didn't go to college, and that's why I had kids out of wedlock, and life's a little fucking harder than it probably would have been otherwise. I mean, that's me just playing a victim, right? That's me not taking any responsibility or accountability for myself. And all that will do is keep you stuck and keep you looking like a little fucking bitch, honestly, because you're never going to move anywhere. You're never going to go. You're never going to grow. And people are going to fucking hate to be around you. So avoid doing that, obviously. And just take responsibility for where you are in your life and all of the accumulation of every decision you fucking made, right? And then move forward from that and take charge and responsibility of what you can do, because sitting here and playing a victim and blaming others for where you're at in life is going to keep you stuck, and it's going to get you nowhere. And then there's another big one. Victim is the biggest one. That's the biggest one you see, and that's the biggest one. I mean, even if you know about it and you're consciously aware, you'll still catch yourself doing it, but it's important that you still catch yourself doing it and you stop it. Because fuck, man, you can be anywhere in life, and as long as you know who you are, and you know what you're doing, it doesn't matter. Like, and you're not going to play victim. You're going to say, well, I'm here doing this, and it doesn't matter, right? I still have this. It's about perspective. That's all it is. Fucking perspective. I'm so sick of that word, because I mean, it's so simple, and you can use it in fucking every sentence, but it's so important. And sometimes when you're in it and things are hard, it's really hard to just be like, perspective. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? You know, I'm fucking pissed off, I'm sad, I'm angry, fuck perspective. But it's so fucking important, right? It's so important. But you can't just fucking have a perspective and just live by perspective. You have to have action too, right? So there's perspective, and then there's action to follow that, right? It's sort of like manifestation. You can't sit here and tell yourself this is where you're going to be, and this is where you're going to go, and this is what you're going to have, without doing anything. I can't lay in bed all day and expect to fucking become anyone significant within this world, right? No, I can't. And then justification, right? Well, they're doing it, so I can do it, right? That's more of an external justification, like you comparing yourself to someone else. It was funny. I was just talking about this with my coworker at work today, and we're just kind of like, yeah, like we work this way, and this is our attitude at work because that's just the attitude at where we work, and we just kind of go with it. I mean, we could probably do a lot more and do all these things, but I mean, fuck that. That's how they do it. That's how these guys do it. That's just how it's done here, So that we were justifying what we were doing with that. That's a small example, or a bigger one. Like it's kind of the victim thing, but I can, right? Like addiction. I can use drugs because this happened to me, or because I had this experience, or let's say my girlfriend told me to kill myself or told me to go use drugs. Then I can use that to justify it. Well, she told me to. What was I supposed to do, man? That's fucked up. Then I'm playing victim and justifying all at the same time. So that's another big one. And then rationalization. So I mean, they're all fucking pretty similar, is what I'm realizing just now. So I'm gonna rationalize it. So like, this is okay because of this and this, so it makes sense, and just kind of overthinking and overanalyzing the situation, or intellectualizing, which is what I like to do. I'm not saying I'm an intellectual, but I'm just saying, like, fuck, if I can think my way around it, then I can do it, right? But yeah, I mean, these are all things that will keep you stuck, and it's good to be aware of all of them. I mean, there are things that help change my life and help me get out of the rut that I was in. And I'm not saying that right now every day is great and I feel fucking perfect and life is fantastic. I mean, it is good and I have a lot to be grateful for. But I mean, fuck, dude. If every day was great, then I there wouldn't be. You have to have agony to see beauty, right? You have to experience both sides, right? And that's just kind of the ebb and flow of life. So I mean, I I've been trying to instead of like being down on myself or feeling hard or being hard on myself and really not very compassionate with myself about when I feel down or depressed or whatever the fuck it is, just being like, it's okay, like enjoy this, like appreciate it because you know what's on the other side of it. And good or bad is just a fucking a notion that we put to things, right? Who maybe being depressed is a beautiful thing. Maybe just feeling things deeper is a beautiful thing, and it allows you to feel happiness on a deeper level, right? Like just different things, right? There's tons of different ways to look at it, but instead of being hard on yourself and not being vulnerable and saying fuck this, like I'm not gonna feel this way. No, just all right. So this is how I'm feeling today, and that's it. But yeah, and I don't need to change it. I don't need to do anything about it. Like I am okay feeling that way, and it's gonna change. I'm not gonna fucking feel depressed every day or down or overthink and overanalyze every fucking day. That's just how it is right now, right? But yeah, so that's it. I mean, it's been fucking 14 minutes, so thanks for listening.